Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive and the second part of our Let's Play of City of Chaos. Now I have to admit that the first part was a little rough, a little shaky. This is my first Let's Play, and I probably should have picked a game with a more solid, concrete set of rules, maybe something shorter for my first endeavor at this. But I chose something kind of crazy, and that's okay. We'll get through it. Just hang in there with me. I promise things will just keep getting better, okay? So the house rules, I went and reread some of them on BGG, some of the ones that the designer has continued to update, and some of the fans. And I'm going to alter the way we're going to play a little bit, because even though I wanted to speed things up a little bit, I think the way we were playing was possibly making things too fast, discovering too many locations on one turn, not ending our turns in street spaces so that we can have encounters with the action cards enough. So we're going to slow things down a little bit. And so for movement now, what we're going to do is we're going to roll a d8 and a d6, and then we can choose which number to move. Most likely it'll be the highest number, but I think that should work pretty well. And then we're also going to, once you encounter a location, so whether it's a new location or you move into a location to encounter it, that is going to completely end your turn. So we won't be discovering multiple locations in one turn. And then also, like I said before, if you end your turn on the street, then you will have an encounter with an action card. Okay, so one of the other actions you can take on a turn, remember you get 2 actions. You can rest to heal 1 BP. You can focus to a full turn to restore 5 combat points. You can combat, which gives you 2 combat rounds per action, flee from combat, or use a non-combat special ability. So if you remember from last time, Bing has discovered the city gift shop, and we decided not to buy anything and not to rob it. And Dizzy over there is completely knocked out from watching the strippers at the Grinning Rat Inn. So he's going to miss a turn, but he's not going to miss a whole turn. When an action causes us to miss a turn, they're going to miss one of their actions on their next turn. And I think we're ready to go here. So Bing still has his 5 combat action points and 4 groats. Dizzy has 5 action points and 5 groats. Remember, Dizzy was he joined the Magi Guild, and he got 2 spells and the cheese wire. And then Bing got the knuckle dusters, the kind of like the brass knuckles, the weird brass knuckles. All right, so it is Bing's turn. So for his first action, he will move. Let's roll the dice here, and an 8 and a 6. So I guess I'll move 8, and I'm going to explore in this direction here. So we're going to go 1, reveal a new tile. 2 and 3. We'll move into this location. Let's see what we find. Oh wow, the Pyrotechnic Guild. An acrid cloud of blue smoke rolls over you, leaving you coughing. With watering eyes, you see a group of people standing around, a small torch which splutters furiously, ejecting huge amounts of smoke. One of the group approaches you and asks for a light. If you give him a light, he smiles. Go to 615. If you have not got a light, if you don't have a light, he asks you if you want to join the guild. If you answer yes, go to 304. If you answer no, he asks you if you want to buy something. So we can give him a light. I don't have an object to light for him. So if you remember, the Magi Guild that Dizzy is a member of, once a member of the Cabal of the Magi, you cannot join the Pyrotechnics, the Pneumologists, or the Mesmerists. So the Magi and the Pyrotechnics are kind of at odds. So if we choose to join the Pyrotechnics, we're going to have to role play that maybe these 2 characters aren't the best of friends. Well, let's ask to join. Let's see what happens. So we're going to turn into the Tome of Chaos. And we are going to, if you want to join the guild, go to section 304. Okay, let's see what happens here. 304, ask to join the Pyrotechnics Guild. You asked to join the guild. Good, says the Pyrotechnic. We are always looking for new followers of the flame. Please come with me. Opening a hidden trap door in the floor, he leads you down into the guild. Hidden completely, the Guild of the Pyrotechnics is an extensive warren of tunnels in which you are soon lost. He takes you to a room, hands you over to the recruitment officer. Now then, listen carefully. Pyrotechnics study the art of fireworks and explosions, and we guard our secrets jealously. No mesmerists, magi, or sneaky pneumologists can enter the Pyrotechnics. If you belong to one of these guilds, you must leave now. Okay, we don't. The recruitment officer gives you the initial training of a pyrotechnic. Miss a turn. Take the Pyrotechnic Guild card and leave the guild as a level 1 pyrotechnic. Also take a firework rocket, a smoke screen, and a flash powder from the item deck. Very cool. All right, so we need to find those cards. First of all, let's find the Pyrotechnic. There we go. All right, Pyrotechnic. Wow, that's cool. He's got a whole backpack full of fireworks. Pyrotechnic. As a pyrotechnic, you learn how to use and make fireworks. To make a firework takes one turn, so it's going to be one action. Whilst making a firework, you cannot move or fight without losing what you are making. You also are trained how to discharge a firework safely. Anyone can buy a firework. It takes a skilled pyrotechnic to stop it blowing up in your face. The type of fireworks are rocket, flash, and smokescreen. You can increase your skill levels by training at the guild. A pyrotechnic cannot belong to the Magi, Mesmerist, or Pneumologist Guild. All right, so we're going to take a rocket, a flash, and a smokescreen from the items deck. A rocket, flash, flash powder, I imagine, firework rocket, and a smoke screen. So a smoke screen. While ignited, this firework gives off a dense cloud of choking yellow smoke. The trained pyrotechnic can see through the smoke, whereas opponents cannot. A +1 to defense in combat per skill level. Okay, a marvelously destructive attack weapon. This is the rocket. A rocket hits all opponents against you in battle. +3 to attack score and +5 against shadow wraiths. Unlike other weapons, multiply your attack modifier by the number of opponents. The rocket can be unstable. Roll a d6 and certain things can happen, but at pyrotechnic levels to add roll. So I get a little bonus to that because I'm in the guild. And finally, we have the flash powder. When ignited, this fine powder gives off a brilliant flash which will stun any opponent. Roll a d6. On a 6+, your opponents are stunned for 1 round, allowing the player to run from the combat or to have 1 free attack. And then once again, we get bonuses for being part of the guild. All right. So Dizzy and Bing, they are now maybe not friends. So he loses an action. So that means he's going to only get 1 action on his next turn. He encountered that space, so now it's Dizzy's turn. All right, so Dizzy, his first action, he's going to stand up from being wowed by the strippers. And he is going to explore this section here. But first, let's roll the dice to see what we move. All right, a 3 or a 2. Okay, I will move 3. Oh, here's another thing we're going to do. This will make things a little more interesting. We're going to place these tiles randomly. Okay, let's go 1, 2, 3. So he will end his turn with a location encounter. The mortuary. You enter the cool interior of the city morgue. Bodies lie on cold marble slabs covered by gray sheets. A strange man in a rubber apron looks up at your arrival. Taking his hand out of the torso of one of the corpses, he asks you, "Have you come to see a body, perhaps to identify a relative?" If you wish to look at the corpses, follow the man to 638, or you can interact with the attendant. Otherwise, feel squeamish and leave. I think Dizzy would be interested in seeing a body. He's kind of a weirdo. All right, so we're going to look at a body. Let's go to 638. We're going to follow the mortician to 638. The mortuary. Visit the bodies. You ask the attendant to show you the bodies. He takes you to a cool area where 3 bodies lie on marble slabs covered in gray sheets. The attendant then informs you that it will take 1 turn to look at each body. Roll the cube of chaos and consult the list below. If you get a symbol you have had before, re-roll. All right, so we will get 1 roll for this turn. Star of David. Star of David. Go to 619. Okay, 619. The mortuary. The attendant uncovers the body of an old man. "Died just this morning," says the attendant. "Heart attack. Some bugger robbed him. Hangings too good for them. Bloody thieves." Interesting. So that was it. That was just a nice little simple encounter. So I'm going to jot that down on my character sheet that we had the Star of David in the mortuary. Because maybe next turn we will want to look at another body. Okay, so that was Dizzy's turn. For Bing's first action, he's going to stand up. He is now a proud member of the Pyrotechnic Guild. And I think he's going to move. We're just going to kind of move out into the street over in this direction here. An 8 and a 2. Let's move 8. So let's go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess I could have left there. Oh well, that's fine. He's going to end his turn there, or end his action. And I will roll again. Actually, I think I'm going to come over here. A 5 and a 3. Let's draw this tile here. So I have no idea what it is. We'll flip it like that. Oh, can't go like that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so he moved here, and he's in the street, unoccupied tile. We're going to have an action card. The Maid. As you turn the corner, you are hit by a large shower of dirty water. You shake your head and then look up. You see a startled chambermaid peering from an upstairs window. "Oh dear, sorry, I didn't see you down there." Do you interact with the maid or cross the road cursing the silly woman? Well, I think interact, because that's way more fun. So let's find the maid. What are we going to do? Help, threaten, or greet? I think I'm going to greet her, kind of say, "Hey, what's up? Why are you doing that?" Cube of Chaos. The squiggly maid. Squiggly. 656. Maid, greet. "Sorry, dear, but my mistress will kill me if she catches me gossiping out the window," says the maid, frantically looking over her shoulder and returning to her chores. All right. So that was it. That was the maid encounter. You know, I really do like how some of the encounters just are kind of mundane encounters. They're not always having to do with the game or with anything. They're just kind of adding a character and thematic elements to the game. I like that. Okay, so we got Dizzy now. He's going to get, well, he's still in the morgue, and he's going to search another body. So let's go to 638 again. And each one of these is going to take a turn. So we're going to search Star of David we already had. Squiggly. So Squiggly, return to 458. Mortuary. Examine corpse of Hisvet Sif. You lift the sheet off the corpse's face, revealing a good-looking young man. Now this one is strange, says the attendant. Apparently, he was a duelist who fell in love with a maiden, coveted by the head of the Pyrotechnics. Ooh, the head of Bing's Guild. When he found out, the Pyrotechnic killed the woman, and this young fellow died of grief. Yet all that was over 40 years ago, and the body has remained here without decay. It's as though he only sleeps. Well, that's pretty cool. As you inspect the body, a large signet ring slips off the corpse's finger. You pick the ring up. Upon inspection, it is obviously a family heirloom with the name Sif carved in it. For some reason, you pocket the ring whilst the attendant looks away. Take the ring of Hisvet Sif from the special pack. If you wish to view another corpse, wait a turn and go to 638. Interesting. All right, so this might be somewhat leading to a clue of some of the chaos. A body that doesn't decay, and it's been here for 40 years. Okay, so take the ring of Hisvet Sif from the special... All right, so let's find the ring. There it is. So Dizzy now has this ring. This is a heavy gold signet ring, forged by the dwarf smiths of Byronitar. It bears the diving falcon crest of the Sif family. The ring is given to the youngest member of the family upon reaching adulthood. For you, it has no apparent use. So that means it does have a use in game terms. All right, so he's going to put that ring on. I'm sure at some point in the game we will be asked if we have that ring. All right. Well, so that was his first turn. He's going to wait, and for his next turn, he will get to examine that final body. I have a feeling though that the last body, was probably the body that we just had of Hisvet Sif was probably the most important one. Okay, let's get back here to Bing. Bing's going to explore in this direction, maybe work his way back down this block here. Roll the dice. I got a 3 and a 2, so let's move 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, roll the dice again. A 7 and a 4. 1, 2. We're going to enter this building. That will end our turn after we encounter the space. The Academy of Duello. You hear the clash and ring of steel. Then you hear a voice below. No, no, parry, parry, then thrust. You enter a cobbled courtyard where 2 youths are engaged in fencing lesson. A grizzly old veteran is grilling them over their sword techniques. Are you a member of the Academy? He asks. If so, go to 556. Otherwise, looking at you, he snarls. Another pup looking for fame. To join the Academy, you need only nerves of steel. Do you enroll or do you leave? So this is probably the Duelist Guild. I am not going to join the Duelist Guild right now. So on my next turn, Bing is going to leave the Academy of the Duello. Or the Duello, I guess? Not the Duello, the Duyo. We're going to say Duello. I like that word. Okay, so now Dizzy, is back in the mortuary. And the only one we haven't is the moon. So we're going to go to 331. Examine the corpse of the thief. This person has been recently hanged. As you lift the sheet, you see a grotesquely distorted face. Purple rope marks are gouged along the neck, and you can clearly see where the spine broke. The corpse also has no hands. A curse on all thieves, growls the attendant. Hanging's too good for them. You do not recognize the corpse, although you may feel a certain brotherhood to it. We do not. We are not a thief. If you wish to view another corpse, wait a turn, then go back to 638. Well, we've seen all the corpses. So Dizzy is just going to leave. Got a 4 and an 8. Let's go out this direction here, straight ahead. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another location. All right, a pawn shop. Hanging above a shop doorway is a strange sign of 3 brass balls. Upon entering the pawn shop, you are greeted by an old, dusty gentleman. Welcome to my little establishment. The rules of pawn are quite simple. I will give you 2 groats for any item you wish to leave in my care. If you wish to purchase one of the items at my shop, it will cost you 4 groats. Place any items you wish to leave in this location and collect your money. You can buy any items left here for 4. That's pretty cool. A little way to make a little bit of money. Way to get items out on the board to buy later. I think for now, he only has the 1 item, the cheese wire. And he is going to keep the cheese wire. All right, we're going to take 1 more full round. And we're going to go back to Bing here. And Bing's going to continue this way down this block. His movement will be, looks like 6. So 1, 2. And we'll flip that like that. 3, 4, 5, 6. And he gets 1 more action. I think he's just going to keep moving down and fill in this last little bit of exploration. And he will move 7. Oh, it's just a street. Well, he's going to get lost in this neighborhood over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he realizes that he has made a wrong turn. And now we draw our next action card. The bracers. Fitting tightly onto your forearm, these plain brass bracers offer excellent protection from attack, especially if you are trained by the pugilist to use them properly. Add +1 to defense and a +2 if used in unarmed combat and you have the pugilist skills. Okay, you know what? Bing really needs to join the Pugilist Guild. Luckily, he can be a pyrotechnic pugilist because he has the knuckle dusters and now the bracers. So he would be a pretty badass fighter, throwing off fireworks and smoke bombs and then punching people in the face as he runs away or something. I like that. So that was his turn. And now we're back to Dizzy. Dizzy's gonna explore down this avenue here. A 1 or a 3? Well, let's go 3. 1, 2. 3. Okay, for a second action, he will roll again. A 2 or a 3? Let's go 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. What did Dizzy encounter on the streets of the City of Chaos? The Archbishop. You encounter a religious procession meandering down the road. At the head of the procession is the Archbishop. He smiles benignly at you and says, "How can I help you, my pilgrim?" Roll a d6. A 6. 6+. The Archbishop snarls at you and cries, "A curse on you for your evil deeds." What? Take a curse card from the magic pack. Player must add heads to the die roll. Okay, we didn't have any heads. We haven't had any combat and killed anybody yet. So, wow, just for rolling a 6, the Archbishop cursed us. Screw that dude. So I have to look for the curse card from the magic pack. Oh, no. Poor Dizzy. Let's see. A curse. Something goes all the way cursed. Talk about highs and lows for Dizzy. Woke up after seeing strippers and now he's cursed. All right. The player has been cursed. From now on, things will not be so easy. Being cursed reduces your attack score in combat by 1. May ill luck dog your heels. -1 in all attacks in combat. Curses can add to each other, increasing your bad luck. Being cursed will negate any blessing the player may have. All right, so I really need to figure out how to get rid of this curse here. All right, so I think that's going to be it for this this session. Let's take a look at the city, how it's expanding here. I really like how this is looking. It's really cool how everything just kind of, I like how it grows, and I like how the different buildings populate, and it really feels like a neat little city. I do wish there were more city tiles or street tiles. I know some people say they play by removing these or removing half of them, but there's hardly any, and these add more action cards to the game. So being this game discovered the Academy of the Duelist Guild, he became a pyrotechnic, which is awesome. Now he's got fireworks and smoke grenades and flash bombs that he can let off. Dizzy found the pawn shop where we can sell and buy items. And then he also got that really, really mysterious ring of Hisvet Sif that apparently has no use. I can't wait to find out what this is for. Hopefully we find out soon. So I hope you enjoyed this session, and come back again in a couple of days and we'll continue exploring the City of Chaos. All right, have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. Bye-bye.